you've come on kind of a hot time, a spicy time, where there's three scandals going on, and two of them are in California or related to California. Anyway, I think you play in, I think Claremont's in Northern California, right? Is that where you play, or do you play
It's a
up?
little like I would call it East LA, like East LA.
Oh, East LA. I don't know like
Yeah.
anything about East LA, but I think it's like a little bit more chill. Am I right? Or
Yeah, it's more rural, like or not rural, but like it's more suburban in like the area that I am right now. But I'm like probably 30-40 minute drive from like 30-40 minute drive west to get to like more downtown LA.
more you're 30 minutes away from like the really sketchy stuff. Okay.
Yeah,
Uh
yeah.
yeah, so there's one scandal where I was just reading this and talking a little bit about this with you, involving a NBA coach. What the fuck's his name? Billups or Billups, the NBA coach, and Chauncey Billups, and NBA players that decided for some reason to get involved in some crime and having an NBA career and host a cheated game and bring in and cheat the shit out of someone, I guess, or some players. I don't know who these players are. But do you have any opinions on that on LA home games?
Yeah, I mean, on that specifically, obviously that's terrible, and you got to stay
No.
safe out there, and I think if there's anything to take away from all these things, it's just that whenever things come to money and just a lot of money anywhere, you just have to be careful. You have to be smart. In terms of how it's impacted LA home games, honestly over here I haven't really heard much talk about it. So like I don't know whether maybe I'm just completely out of the loop or whether it's not affecting people as much as maybe it should be. I know that obviously this type of stuff happening, especially three at the same time, especially in the area, should be obviously talked about and should be cause of concern for a lot of people in the area. But as far as the games that I attend and the circle that I'm in LA, I haven't really heard a ton about it, but yeah, I definitely think that it's just a good reminder to everybody to like look, when there's a lot of money involved, you just have to be careful, you know.
That's a fair point. That's a very good point. So there's a couple things I think you can take away at well, we could also mention the other scandal going on while we're at it, because I think you can kind of draw similar sorts of things. Do you know much about the one with his name's Philip? His short name is Philip. His nickname is Dazo. But he's not the bad guy. He's actually the good guy and the victim in all this. And then it involves this dude, Meatball. His name's literal Meatball, a bit of a shady character. I actually happened to try to resolve this amicably long time ago. Craig, this dude Craig, but basically this one. Have you heard about this one at all?
Not really, no. Like I
Okay,
said, I'm a little out of the loop, I think.
I'll summarize it so we don't spend too much time on these scandals and talk more about you. So, what happened in this one was there's a little bit of backstory. Basically, Philip actually got screwed over earlier and was working with Meatball by this other raging scumbag, Asher. I posted about him because he's a raging scumbag. Some businessman in Miami just totally cheated the game out of a shitload of money. Or no. He was Philip's backer, didn't pay him, and then Philip grinded all back for Meatball. And then what happened later was Philip's playing in Meatball's game, and they're doing business together. And they play a huge game, and this dude, Aiden Asiag, was playing in it. Aiden Asiag lost an enormous number, 1.6 million, I think, or it's a number over 1 million, 100%. He basically just decides to stiff the game, and this screws over Meatball, Craig in some kind of way, and really screws over Dazo for a large amount. Meatball then decides, even though he promised to make things right and honor Dazo in the past, Philip, and he's running the game, etc., to basically screw over Dazo, which I was a little bit sympathetic to, even though he did promise to make things right. But then it turns out that basically Meatball and Craig were trying to do all the shady shit and extort Aiden to pay the money. I still think Aiden's the worst one. And then they're trying to like not pay Philip for some reason and just trying to like be in cahoots in order to get as much money as possible, and like didn't say anything about this, and we're doing a bunch of illegal shit. And now it's turned into another crime scene essentially. And somehow this guy Gilbert's involved. I don't even know how this is, what's going on here. It was some like cheating, or and then there's the Mafia in there. I don't know how the Mafia got in there, but the Mafia apparently is involved in both of them. I don't really understand that part, to be honest.
Oh my! I mean, that just sounds terrible. Like I don't even know what to say about that. I mean, it's obviously it's a ridiculous amount of money, right? 1.6 million. Like, what are you gonna do when someone doesn't pay that out, right? Like, you have to figure out like exactly, right? You were talking about like what these guys are doing to figure out how to get them paid. Like, I mean, I'm thankful I'm never in that situation because I have no idea how I would try to figure out how to, track a dude down, make him pay $1.6 million. And then, and the fact that those guys tracking it down, like, are also doing some shitty shit. I mean, I don't even know. That's terrible.
Well, they're doing some scummy things too. It turns out it's a whole situation. This guy's apparently they threatened this guy's family, and that's pretty bad as it turns out, even for large amounts of money. He's probably exaggerating if I had to guess, to be honest. But yeah, Iden's trying all he can to not pay. It looks like. But
Oh, sorry. Continue.
Any added thoughts for the LA poker scene? I don't know how much this has to do with your poker games, but does you have any thoughts regarding?
Yeah, I mean, like 1.6 million. I would hope that maybe at some point in my life I'll be playing games with that amount of money swinging around. But currently, I'm mostly playing like lower stakes in that for sure. So, whether that's the reason why I haven't been exposed to this stuff as much or not, I'm not sure. But I guess my thoughts in general are just, yeah, like I say this about like borrowing money too, and like in general, loaning money, like giving money out, all this type of stuff, crediting people, and all these things that happen in the poker world inevitably. I just try to stay away from it as much as possible. Like I really do. If I'm ever loaning money to anybody, it's going to be to like my literal closest circle, like never anybody else. I never do any crediting and any of that stuff. Like I just try to stay away from that. And I just feel like it's a headache, and it's always just something bad going to happen that's just waiting to happen, and so that's just my philosophy. Maybe I'm not fully maximizing my expected value if I'm thinking about it in economics. What did you, right? And being an economics student, right? Maybe it's not perfectly theoretically optimal, but I guess I'm using a little bit of prospect theory and risk aversion to take myself away from some of those situations. Yeah.
No, Danny, you should totally get into loaning people money and not take any recourse at all. Oh yeah, bro, I got you. I'm totally gonna pay you. I'm totally gonna pay you. And then they like don't pay like 65% of the time, or 35%. Excuse me, 35 plus. And yeah, that's a great proposition, bro. Get no interest on it, no collateral. That's the classic. It's like the stupidest thing ever, to be honest. But
ridiculous. Yeah.
Yeah. So. Yeah, that's definitely true. To definitely be really prudent with your money and not open up pretty bad threads, which was a big mistake that I personally made. Yeah, that's definitely a good idea. Like the less you make deals with people on the whole without like something really airtight, the less likely you'll get. That's for sure. It's a pretty solid life path. Let's put it like that. I happen to be a little bit more sold on my getting over route, but let's not talk about that too much. I have a bit of a more philosophical approach of sorts regarding that. I went the longer route.
If you happen to play some live poker, you got to know what the rake is. You got to know what realistic win rates are. You got to know this kind of stuff. Speaking of which, on the Jungleverse, we provide many resources to help many of you up-and-coming players in order to avoid many pitfalls that many people play. Also to avoid getting cheating. We provide some details of what to look out for. We have a map of what the best online sites are to play at and why, and what kind of games you're looking for. If you want to try your luck and try to strike it rich, playing tournaments, why not? The math's a bit against you. We have the resources for that too.